Good evening, one and all, to Wednesday here at MRC, which means we have two races for you tonight, starting off with the Tier 3 boys here at Interlagos at Sao Paulo, Brazil. And I am your lead comms BitW365, and sharing the box with me for Tier 3 tonight is everyone's favourite choir boy himself, one half of the Buzzing Hornets. It is Simon Pratt, also known as Baby Hornet. Good evening.
Good evening. How are we doing tonight, Carl?
As I said before the stream, sweating buckets and we ain't even started.
Yeah, this is the most disgusting time of year for me. I do not like it.
Yeah, let's... I see an Aston Martin first out.
Hive Eclipse.
Yep, that is Hive. So we'll follow Hive round on his installation lap, ready for this session to get underway. Only one higher tier driver to worry about tonight, which is Airways in the Alpine. Everybody else is either Tier 3 Reserve, or Tier 4. So, very quick message for Ant. You're going to have such an easy job with this result when it's done and dusted.
Yeah, that is very true. He doesn't need to worry about kicking people, so that's nice.
Yeah, he's only got, like I say, the one to worry about. Yeah. And we'll jump on board with Hive as he enters up the hill towards the DRS activation line to get this qualifying session underway. DRS open on the way down towards the start-finish straight and down towards turn 1, 2 and 3, which make up the Senna S's. It's also downhill as well, so you've got to be very careful. Nice and tidy through there as we go through turn 3 over the DRS line, and now it's flat out down towards turn 4, or Hodges corner with turn 4 and 5, because we all know he ended up in the wall on the outside very famously a few seasons ago. Now we're going up the hill to the ever tricky turn 6. Got to be careful on the exit that you don't invalidate. Then we go into turn 7. Williams on the inside, just staying out of the way. Luckily for Hive there as he goes through turn 7. Then we've got turns 8 and then 9, which is slightly downhill, and as you're turning in, and then it's slightly uphill to turn 9, which is the last braking zone. Then it's uphill flat out all the way round turn 10 and the banking. DRS open towards the line to finish the lap, takes the shortest route possible but slightly invalidates. It was a 9.4, but he slightly invalidated, cutting too much of the final section, just shortening it too much, but we did get a lap on the board, which was Ross of a 9.8 to get the first time on the board.
Yeah, 9.4 is an absolutely solid lap. It's really getting about that.
She loves JP with provisional pole now with a 9.0. Drag King slotted into second with a 9.666. And then
just I was about to say a 9.4 is a solid lap. Kick just absolutely blows it out of the water.
Yeah, and we also have Drift Hawk in third with a 9.692. Ty Clear behind his teammate with a 9.9, and Gene Genie with a 10.5, as Maka, the Tier 3 Championship leader, puts it on the front row provisionally with a 9.4. So even this early in the session, it is very, very close amongst the top at the moment still, but there's plenty of drivers still to get their laps in.
Yeah, absolutely. It's looking like it's going to be a really, really good qualifying session.
As we just catching the end of Triz's lap in the Williams. He goes at 8.9, phenomenal banker by Triz in the Williams.
What a lap, my gosh.
Reminiscent of Ben in Tier 1 earlier this week when he romped to a pole position in the Williams.
Yeah, very true.
Let's see. We've got Nuts Nuts in Sector 1. We have Sambal also in Sector 1. Oh, we have Sabi coming through into Sector 3. So he's coming towards the end of his lap in the Red Bull, bouncing about a bit.
I wonder if that might be slight connection issues.
Possibly. Comes to the line. And it's a 9.8. Yeah, he's bouncing all over the place. It's hard to see what he's trying to do in the car, but we'll jump down to Sambal, who's slightly ahead of Mutz Nuts. So we'll follow the other Red Bull as it comes to the end of its first flying lap. Let's see where Sambal can... And he goes P4 with a 9.443, and then we'll quickly drop down to Mutz Nuts before he finishes the lap. There's the Mercedes, crosses the line, and goes P12 with an 11.313.
Nice, not a bad little lap.
Just jumped on to the Ferrari of MJ, who's currently in the second sector.
Well, I believe this is his debut today.
Yes, it is. It's MJ's very first race in MRC, so we'll be able to see what he's capable of.
Oh, that's a very good middle sector, 52.2.
That is a very good middle sector. This is solidly
putting him somewhere in the top 3.
Yeah, I wonder how close he'll get to Trizzy's 8.9. Takes the shortest route possible, and it's an 8.4.
What a lap!
And the Tifosi have erupted.
Oh my gosh, what a lap!
As we just catch the second Aston Martin of Alfie as he's just starting his first flying lap, so we'll follow the Aston Martin round as he activates DRS down towards turn 4. The Ferrari keeping well out of the way.
Oh, very aggressive on turn-in from Alfie. And already very, very low on ERS. You don't want to be that low this early in the lap.
Oh, the car wanted to go out of 6, but he collected it well. When the back end goes
really
at
really pushing.
Yeah, you could tell by the way the back end went on the exit of 6. If that rear goes at turn 6, there's only one destination you're heading to, and that is the wall.
Or sliding across the grass.
One of the two.
Yeah.
As he goes round the final technical corner, braking point zone. DRS open now as he comes towards the end of his lap. Where's he going to put the second Aston Martin? It's P5 with a 9.066, putting him in the top 5 ahead of his teammate Hive.
Very nice lap from him. Oh, Stube just invalidated. He looked like he was on a pretty good lap.
Just jumped on the Sauber and it's got the invalidated red circuit. So we'll follow the Alpine of Wookie as he's coming into Sector 3.
I think he's just about to start a lap, actually. He's on 100% battery.
Yeah, so he's probably done like a double warm-up then.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea. So we'll stick with Wookie.
I haven't really tested a double warm-up on this game to know if it actually works or not.
Yeah, I haven't either, but it's... With the way the tyre wear is on this game compared to the last one, I don't think double warm-ups would be that good, because you'd be taking a little bit too much out of the tyres, but it depends how well you take them, especially the soft tyres round Brazil. They just get absolutely shredded round here.
Yeah, it is an absolute tyre eater, this track.
Looks nice and tidy so far by Wookie.
He's very low on fuel, though. He's already got his fuel light flashing, and he's only on his hot lap, so that could be a concern.
Probably not enough fuel in for the double warm-up technique.
Yeah.
Hopefully he doesn't run out of fuel before the end of the lap. We're going to stick with the Alpine, though. 3 seconds up of... Ooh, very well caught.
Overall, this has looked like a pretty solid lap, to be fair.
And very tidy until that penultimate corner. It's a 9.4, putting the Alpine in 8th. So he's in the top half of the grid as it stands.
Stube goes to P7, so he managed to get another lap in.
Yeah, he's invalidated the last one, so his Airways has retired. He is a high-tier driver, so he's sitting the rest of it out.
Triz to P2, only slower by 0.005 of a second.
Yeah, and Mac has just put the Ferrari in third, so he's improved as well. So it's currently Ferrari, Williams, Ferrari, Racing Bulls at the moment, the top four.
This is very, very tight at the top.
Although I'm a little bit disappointed because the one I've been waiting to come out of the garage is still sat in the garage.
Yeah, he has a habit of doing this, but I see a McLaren leaving the garage. I don't know which one it is yet.
If it's Simba, I'm going to be disappointed.
No, it's Gav. Gav is out of the garage.
The man, the myth, the legend, the Banshee is on his way out, so we're going to not follow him right now, but as soon as he gets near us flying lap, we're going to jump straight on board with the McLaren, as he has not set a lap time yet. But we'll follow Mutt's Nuts now as he comes towards the end of his lap, currently in 19th and 11.3. Hopefully he'll have a decent improvement to get higher up, and he puts the Mercedes still in 19th, but it is an improvement to a 10.4.
It was an 0.8 improvement. He still didn't find a place.
Yeah, Airways with a 10.2 with his one and only run. Higher tier driver can qualify, but they cannot use the soft tyre.
Yes, indeed.
And they cannot use the soft tyre in the race either.
No, they certainly cannot.
Which, around here, is actually a saving grace, because I would only classify the soft as a qualifying tyre on this game round Brazil, because as we mentioned earlier, this one eats its tyres.
Yes, absolutely. But here we go, Gav is starting his lap.
Yep, so we'll jump on board with the Papaya Banshees. He crosses the start-finish line and heads down towards turn 1. Let's see how nice and tidy he is through the centre S's. Oh, bit of a moment in the middle. Well collected though. Nice and tidy through 3. DRS open now as it's flat out towards turn 4. Racing Bull slightly behind, getting a lovely tow from the McLaren. Looks nice and
hopefully
tidy.
that's not going to hurt him later in the lap by being too close, because the dirty air effect is very, very strong on this game.
Oh, it's disgusting. That's the only way I can describe it, because you get too close to somebody and it makes battling very difficult, because you get within a second or thereabouts and the car just acts completely differently to when you're in clean air, because it's just...
Yeah.
Oh, 7.8 by MJ.
Oh my gosh, what a lap.
Gab back end stepped out big time at turn 9 and he's in the grass. He's kept going, but I think he's going to bail out of this one easily. Yep, so Gab will have to go again with about 4 minutes 45 to go. So he's going to have to get in and put a new fresh set of boots on as quickly as he can. We'll follow his teammate, who's currently down in 17th, the Lion King himself, Simba. See if he can improve. He's a 10th up
in the first sector.
Yeah. Gav will be sat in the garage, and I'm sure Simba will be over the radio to him saying, "Watch this." Just within track limits out of turn 6. Any further he would have ended up invalidating.
It's looking like a pretty tidy lap so far.
Yeah, he's using all the track that's available to him as well, within the limits. It's looking nice and tidy by Simba in the McLaren right now. 2/10 up after sector 2.
This will jump him a few positions.
Yeah, he's currently on for a 1 minute 9. Let's see what it is when he crosses the line. It's a 9.3, which puts him into P12.
Not a bad little lap.
As the only other car on a flying lap at the moment is Wookie down in 14th in the Alpine. He's coming towards the end of his lap.
I think he's just about to start a lap, actually.
Yeah.
He seems to be a fan of the double warm-up.
He does. He probably good on his tyres then if he's willing to do the back-to-back. Because up to now, he's the only driver to decide to go for the 2 warm-up laps.
Yeah. Just down on his time out of the first sector. Oh, he took the curb there. That can really unsettle your car, but he kept it together.
Yep. Middle sector, I will always say, is the most critical part of your lap at this track because it's where you can lose or gain your time, because sector 1 and 2 is predominantly flat out apart from turns 1, 2, 3. So sector 2 is where your lap time is lost or gained. So we'll see where Wookie finishes off. 2 minutes 10 left on the clock in qualifying. Wookie crosses the line. He goes up to P8, improves to a 9.053. That is that top 10 is relatively close. Well, the entire grid it's a short lap, so it's no surprising how close the entire grid is.
The standout really is MJ. That is a disgustingly quick lap on pole.
Yeah, he's got quite a significant gap to Triz in the Williams, as we've got Gav currently coming towards the end of sector 2 on his second attempt after losing the car on his first one. Almost makes the same mistake, but held it this time.
But what's he going to manage?
Where's he going to put the McLaren in relevance to his teammate? 17th with a 9.5.
That's not as quick as we normally expect from Gav.
No, and it probably didn't help that his first original run, he ended up losing the car and ended up going across the grass. So I think that's Gav's qualifying done.
Yeah, it puts you under a lot of pressure when a mistake like that happens.
Yeah, as we'll jump to Triz, who is within the fight for pole as he's just heading up the hill towards turn 6. Simba, 5-place grid penalty for collision with Gene Genie. I wonder what's happened there. I think it retired Gene Genie as well.
Oh, that's so
probably going to be looked at afterwards. So already won for the stewards by the looks of it.
Yeah, quite possibly.
But we're focusing still on the Triz and the Williams. MJ's decided to sit the rest of this session out. He thinks he's done enough. That 7.8 is a solid lap, so he might have, but we'll see in a matter of seconds as Triz comes towards the line. It's an 8.3. Yeah, Mutsnut's disqualified as well. But Triz
Stubb's
misses
improving.
out.
8.8 for Stubb up to P8.
Yeah, good improvement for one Sauber. We're watching the other kick Sauber. Kicks She Loves JP in the middle sector. Currently third with an 8.5.
No, he's not going to set a better time now.
No, he's way down, so we'll jump down to see if anyone's still going. Simba is also down. And yep, I believe that's qualifying because...
Yeah?
Yep, that's it. So MJ in the Ferrari on debut on pole. A 1.7...
Basically half a second.
Yeah, with a 1.7871. So once we get the final running order for the starting grid, we will run through the 20 starting places. And then we head into a 5-minute breather for drivers to think about their strategy, what they want to do, and also toiletries and drink in the meantime. So we'll quickly go through the order for the Tier 3 Brazilian Grand Prix. It is MJ on pole, Triz second, that is your front row, Kick third, Alfie fourth, Drag King 5th, Macca 6th, Blank 7th, Hive is 8th, Stoob 9th. And rounding out the top 10 is Ross. In the bottom half, we have Ty Clear in 11th, Wookie in 12th, Simba 13th, but he will drop 5 places. So, with that, I'll run through the grid again, because we didn't quite get to the end of it. But we have 5 minutes now before we have the lights out. So, in the meantime, just very quickly on the Interlagos circuit, it is 2.677 miles long. We're racing half distance, which is 36 laps, which is a total race distance of 95.032 miles. The very first race at this circuit was held on the 11th of February 1973. We have 15 corners in total, 10 to the left and 5 to the right. Last year we had probably the definition of why he's a 4-time world champion, with that phenomenal drive by Max Verstappen in wet conditions from, was it 17th, if I'm correct, last year?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, kind of putting the cat amongst the pigeons there, and I think that Brazil really significantly put the stamp on his world championship, but I think most people would say the damage was done early in the season when that Red Bull was probably the best car and competitive.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've had some we've had plenty of crashes around here over the years as well. I was flicking through videos and stuff earlier, and I think it was 2004, this one. Slippery conditions as well. Mark Webber losing his Jaguar into the wall, spreading carbon fibre and wheels across the track, and Fernando Alonso misjudging and driving straight into one of the Mark's wheels in the middle of the track, which scattered even more debris across the track, which brought the red flag out. And I believe that was the one that Kimi Räikkönen was originally named the winner, but then they changed it the round later, Imola, and named Giancarlo Fisichella the winner.
Okay.
I believe that was 2004. I should know, because you lot called me the encyclopedia, so I should know this, but I always question myself.
Yeah, you and Monster are the encyclopedias. Without notes in front of me, I'm useless.
We're not the only ones, because Gav's very factual as well, and just a quick spoiler for everyone, he'll be on comms with you for Tier 4 after this, so he's going from the race seat to the comms box.
Whereas you would have before had an absolutely chaotic comms with Gav and Simon, you now get a calm, factual comms.
We'll believe it when we see it.
Reformed. No, I've been told he's absolutely reformed. You had comms with him last week.
Yeah, I had comms with him last week, and he's like a completely different person from when I last comms with him, because I think I remember it was Tier 2 Monaco going back a few seasons, and as we all know, no heroics into Sandevot, and we're just entering turn 1, and the Banshee was born, let's put it that way. My ears were bleeding.
Yeah, that sounds like Gav, yeah.
And I believe it was me that started the Banshee nickname, I think. I can't remember.
Could well have been. It was before my time.
Yes.
I've always known him as the Banshee.
Yeah, it took me a while to heal after that moment at Sandoval Monaco Tier 2. So, cheers, Gav, for that one.
Gav's good at that. Well, he was good at that. Of course, he's completely calm. It's like you've given him a sedative now.
Yeah, just recap from last week for Tier 3. The top 3 in the result was Maka first, Blank second, and Triz was third, and it was also Blank that got the fastest lap of that one. Ferrari lead the Constructors' Championship after the first race on 32 points, and because he won the race last week, it is Maka leading the drivers. So as they go on formation, we'll carry on with the rest of the grid from where we left off. We got Sambal 13th and teammate Sabi in the Red Bulls in 13th and 14th. Genie in 15th in the Racing Bull. Gav 16th in the lead McLaren after Simba's 5-place grid drop. Then we have Drifthawk in 17th. There's Simba now in 18th after his 5-place drop from qualifying. Airways, the higher tier driver, in 19th. And then rounding off the grid after having disqualified is Muts Nuts in the Mercedes. We'll quickly have a look at tyres, and a few people on mediums, but quite a lot of people going for the hard tyres to start this one.
Yeah, I mean, it can work with the way that tyre wear works. I think it's better to have the longer lasting tyre at the start of the stint because it can take the higher fuel better.
Yeah, and it's regardless of what you do, it is, I would say the 2-stop is the better strategy. But if I'm correct, I can't remember who it was in Tier 2 that did it, but there was one driver that did a 1-stop and finished second in Tier 2. I can't remember who it actually was.
Well, respect to them. I wouldn't want to do a 1-stop around here on this game.
I went medium hard because I would easily say the hard is the best race tyre around here, consistency wise because of the durability it has compared to the mediums. Yeah. And as Chris proved on Tier 1, the undercut is very strong.
Yeah.
So if you go in for the medium tyres, I believe most of them will be looking at the undercut after the first stint. We're going to wait for the 5 red lights. Hopefully we're not waiting too long. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. It's a long hold, but it was underway for Tier 3 here at Interlagos. It's a great start by Triz, bogged down by MJ. But Kick challenging for the lead as well. Drag King is there. Everyone, it's all pandemonium. It's all contact as well. It's pure chaos in the first 3 corners. It's like a car park in the distance. Everybody trying to jostle for position. There's loads of changes back and forth.
Carbon fibre going flying.
Calm down, boys. It's only lap 1.
Yeah, Drifthawk has no front wing.
Pole sitter down to 17th already, but I don't think he's in the car. He's ghosting. I don't think he's in the car. Yes. So our pole sitter already down to 17th and losing places left, right and centre. But we have Kick leading with Blank second, Maka third, Drag King 4th, Ross is 5th, Stu 6th, Wookie 7th, Alfie 8th, Triz down to 9th after starting on the front row. Ty Clear rounds off the top 10. Gav up to 11th at the moment. Genie 12th. Sabi 13th. Hive 14th. Sambal 15th. Simba up to 16th. Muts Nuts from 20th up to 17th. Then it's Airways and Muts Nuts battling side by side, but Airways dives into the pits. Higher tier driver pits on lap 1. But Drifthawk also in for possible damage, so that was probably the carbon fibre you were screaming about at turn 4.
Yes, indeed, there was a lot of it, and yeah, Drifthawk had literally no front wing at all, so that's really, really unfortunate.
Yeah, it's a great start for Kick though. Leading as it stands, the top four. Nose to tail, we have a yellow flag. Ty Clear has had a moment in the middle sector. He's tumbling down the order. Let's check in on the Haas. There is no damage.
He's all right with that.
Yeah, so no trip to the pits, but a handful of places lost. So back to the front, the top four have broken away from Ross in P5 from 1.8 seconds, 1.7.
I mean, Gav's having a great little race, to be fair. He's already up to P10. He's making those hard work immediately, to be fair.
Yeah, and the top four, it's split. There's two on the softs and two on the mediums and two on the hards in the top four. But Drag King falling back a little bit as we have Blanc in the racing ball trying to have a little look around the outside of Kick in turn 4. He's got the inside through 5. I don't think he's going to be enough to go for 6. No, he backs out of it. So Kick still holds on to the lead. So we have Sauber, Racing Bull, Ferrari, Williams, the top 4. And they are now 3 seconds from the rest of the pack behind.
Yeah, Stube and Alfie have been fighting a little bit for 5 and 6, so that's just really allowed them to drop off from the front 4.
Yeah, Alfie getting the upper hand of Stube, one on the medium tyres. We have a Ferrari moment in the middle sector. I think that was MJ. Because Maka, the lead Ferrari, is always, we have a Racing Bull in the lead and Maka also up to second in the Ferrari. So Kick has just dropped 2 places, but Maka going for the lead as well. He's got the inside of 1, outside for 2, but then the inside for 3, and the Ferrari takes the lead.
Move.
That was well done by both drivers. Fair play, space given, but can Blanc hold off Kick into turn 4? He does, so the Racing Bull holds on to second, but we have a Ferrari leading Airways with the fastest lap of 11.7.
Triz really went off there. It was lucky he didn't hit anyone as he came back on the track.
Yeah, down in 16th at the moment after his moment in the middle sector a few laps ago. But the championship lead, a bit of a moment for Maka. Held the car well, so championship leader leads out at the moment. He's on the medium tyres, so I'm guessing we'll probably see Maka in around about lap 10 or 11, because you don't really want to go any further than that on those medium tyres. They start going away about, I believe now, 5 or 6 laps they start going away from you. So expect the Racing Bull of Blanc behind to start being more feisty and aggressive, knowing he's on the better tyre, as we've had a few more position changes. Gab up to P8 now. Wookie and Ross battling for 9th and 10th. It's very close. There's a few bits of contact here and there, but you're going to expect that as no matter how hard you try and give Eve. Oh, but the Haas of Ross.
Yeah, BFD Ross.
He collected it well. He almost, I don't know who it is he went into, but he collected it well. He's still going. So props to you as Sabi picks up 3 seconds. He's the first one to get the track limit warnings penalty.
On Wookie's right up the back of Gav. No, Gav nearly loses it.
Which is allowed.
Gav will now have the DRS.
Yeah, it opened the door. Ooh, he's got a bit of a slidey back enders, Gav, because I see he's losing it quite a bit through the penultimate corner. Which
he's
is
looking a little bit twitchy.
Yeah, it's gave Wookie a bit of breathing room, and it's put him under pressure from Hive, who's got the inside for turn 1. He's having a look at Wookie as well, but there's contact.
That was a bit of an ambitious move through 1.
Yeah, the overspeed and also the inside, that could have ended up badly for both Hive and Wookie.
As we're going 3 wide.
Yep. Genie up to P10 now, which has shuffled Gav back down into 11th, which is now allowing Simba to join the back of this train ever so slowly but surely. As Ty Clear now gets 3 seconds, so that's 2 drivers now with penalties towards the tail end of the grid.
Simba's a very smart racer. He's very patient. He will allow the race to come to him.
Gav's also like that, but he seems to be having to fight his car at places, which you don't tend to see that often.
Yeah. He's normally pretty good with his setups.
Yeah, we'll quickly jump to the front 3. It is Blanc leading by Maka, then Kick, as they've dropped Drag King by 2.3 seconds. So for saying he's on the medium tyres, Maka's still holding on well to the front.
Yeah.
With the 2 hard shot runners.
Well.
Yes, but Kick looking very feisty behind the Ferrari. It is Honda power versus Ferrari power, with the Honda engine in the back of the Racing Bull, and obviously the Sauber and Ferrari both with the Ferrari engines in the back of theirs.
Yeah, indeed. Drag King is having a few issues on his medium tyres now, and Alfie and Stube are starting to close that gap down to P4.
Yeah, it's probably showing that Drag King's not as good on his tyres as Maka is, because as we see him, Maka holding on to Blanc on the hard tyres and keeping Kick behind. And we'll jump back to the front 3 as Maka's a little bit too far back to do anything for the lead, and he's got Kick at arm's length, so he's holding on to second very well. But all 3 of these are dropping Drift King quite a lot. As you say, he seems to be struggling at this stage on the medium tyres, because he's got Alfie closing in, and I think Alfie's now dropped Stube a bit now, because Stube also starting to feel the effect of those medium tyres going off.
Yeah, they'll really be dropping off at this point. You're really going to be thinking about pitting any time, like you say, between now and lap 10.
Yeah, because as Chris proved in Tier 1, as I mentioned before the race got underway, he did the undercut in Tier 1 and gained quite a handful of places doing so. Yeah. And I believe Kid Dynamite went and copied during the second stint and regained the places back. So it just shows you how strong the undercut is here.
Yeah, absolutely.
As we jump back to the front, as Maka is only 6/10 off of Blanc, but he's too far to do anything. I think 6/10 onwards, you're a little too far back to make any kind of headway into turn 1. But
Alfie's got past Drag King though.
Yes, he has. The Aston now ahead of the Williams.
Those hard tyres really do have the delta right now.
Yeah, we've got Triz on the medium still in 7th, but that gap's gradually coming down between Triz and Wookie on the hard tyres. The field quite spread as we got our first pitter further back. Ty Clear in from 15th.
Oh yes, indeed.
As Alfie and Drag King going side by side in the middle sector, fighting over 4th and 5th, which is allowing Stu.
Fortunately, had to fix a damaged front wing, so that brought him in early. But it gives him the undercut potential if he can really put the hammer down now with that fresh front wing on.
Yeah, we've got the Mercedes swapping places further back as well. Mutsnuts now ahead. Oh, but he's gone deep into turn 4, which has allowed the drift halt back through. The 2 Mercedes scrapping over 17th and 18th.
Yeah, and
oh, but Mutsnuts has lost it. Oh, and he's collected his teammate as well.
Oh no!
I think there was slight contact between the 2 or something, but he lost the rear end. Mutsnuts had to go across the grass, which ended up having him to cut the corner as well, so that's giving him 10 seconds. He just lost the car. He had nowhere to go. He was just a passenger, and he slid straight over the corner. And the game's giving him a slam dunk 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's a bit of a harsh penalty, unfortunately, but it's just one of those things they code in. You've cut.
Oh, but Blanc's lost it. The leader has dropped it, which has allowed
Big mistake.
And kick through to first and second. Alfie's up to third.
Gone now.
A lot of people are losing it at this stage. I think a lot of people are struggling with the tyres at this stage, but I'm very surprised that Blanc lost it, because he's on the hard tyre. As Kit going on the inside, but on the outside for turn 2, Maka holding strong still, keeping that Sauber at bay as Drag King pits, and so's Blanc and Gav's in as well.
Oh, little bit of contact between the front two.
Yep, caused the Sauber to go slightly wide. I don't think it was worthy of stewarding. It's just like hard racing from the overshot. A lovely angle we had through there, watching them from above. But Mack are doing a phenomenal job on the medium tyres at this stage, because you believe he'd be thinking about pitting about this lap, or could he be probably wondering about trying the one stop? As Ross, it's 10 possible. Seconds for speeding in the pit lane, but we'll soon see as he's coming towards the start-finish line. Is Maka gonna pit or not? No, he stays out another lap. But Kick's in. Kick's going for the undercut on the hard tyres.
As Stoob comes in as well, and so does Trez.
Gav 3 seconds for track limits. Hopefully Kick will leave the pit garage before Stoob gets there.
10 seconds for Hive now as well.
Yep, I believe that were 2 drivers not quite getting the car stopped for the pit entry, or was it just one? Because there was quite a few people coming in the pits at once. Yeah.
Stoob got slightly held by his teammate Kick pitting before him, so actually lost out to Triz under pit stop. But Triz has given the place back, weirdly. All ran really wide in the pit lane. I'm not sure what happened there, but Stoob has got it back in the pit lane.
One of the two, so either a slight mistake or some accidental sportsmanship, but
yeah,
we'll probably find out later if anything's mentioned in general chat about it. But Maka, he's got to look at pitting this lap with Kick coming in. Yep, Maka,
yeah, there he goes.
The Ferrari's coming in. Will he get it stopped? He does.
Alfie's coming in as well, actually.
Yep. Wookie carries on, so the Alpine will take the lead. And that puts Gene Genie up to second as well. He's carried on. Simba as well up into third. And
as
Kick
GTS gets the move done on Sabi.
Yep, Kick gets ahead of Maka with the undercut as well. So the Sauber is now ahead of the Ferrari by a couple car lengths, 2 seconds. That is mighty.
Yeah, the undercut is so powerful here. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, Maka, I believe, is now on the hards. Yes, he is. And Kick is on the medium, so they have swapped around on the tyres. As Drag King now 3 seconds. There's been a lot of penalties flying in left and right in a matter of seconds. But you can see the difference with Kick closing in on Simba so much on those fresh medium tyres compared to Simba's 13 lap hard tyres. He's got that much grip. He's going to try looking round the outside, but filters back in. Surely Simba's going to box. Yes, he does. So does Wookie, but Gene Genie carries on, so the Racing Bull will take the lead. But how long for? Because he's got the Sauber of Kick all over. Look at the gap with the difference in grip as he goes around the outside of the Racing Bull.
Very nice move.
So that is now Kick in clean air as well, and it puts a car between him and Macca at this stage, but believe Gene Genie to come in either at the end of this lap or probably the next one, because I don't think he'll want to be staying out any longer than he is because of the amount of people that have pit, because he doesn't want to be losing too many places or getting stuck in traffic once he's got the fresh rubber on.
Yeah, absolutely not. You've just got to get in and get it done.
But Macca closed up very quickly on those fresh hard tyres. He's already within DRS of Gene Genie.
And of course, having DRS down here will also help him close that gap to Kick a little bit.
Yep. As Gene Genie is in, the Racing Bull has pitted at the end of lap 14, which has released Macca into second. The gap is now down to 1.8. So Macca has been gradually bringing that gap down. We have a yellow flag at turn 3. Either Ross is at a moment or he's getting out of the way of people. That
he had a moment, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's got going now, so that's sorted, as Gene Genie on the left-hand side will be coming out in 11th. And it's looking like he's going to have a bit of clean air. But he's going to be behind Simba. No. But just following Macca at the moment, as he's actually bringing that gap down. The medium tyres...
Oh, Gav's gone!
Let's have a check on the McLaren. He's doing a bit of lawn mowing.
Yeah, he's doing a Valtteri Bottas.
Or in this case, Lando Norris with being in the McLaren.
Yeah.
But that's put Gav down to 11th after that slight moment. It's very uncharacteristic to be seeing Gav having these little mistakes here and there. He's always sliding through the corner there, almost drifting it, trying to keep the back end in check.
I think Gav is doing Gav things from F1 23, when you could run some really, really low wings at times, which you can on this game, but you've got to be very careful with it. And I think he's still a little bit on the I'm going to run some low wings side of things.
Yes, I'm out here and I'm going to have a bit of fun.
If I run 0-0 wings, no one can catch me down a straight. That's the Gav approach.
But I'm a sitting duck in the corners.
Well, yeah, that is a slight issue.
It is 1.3, 1.2 between the two leaders at the moment. Kick with a slight lead still over Macca. You believe it'll slowly come to Macca in the slowly but surely, with Kick being on the medium tyres and also them being a lap older. Only a lap, but it can make a difference, especially with the tyre wear around here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be very interesting, and interesting to see, is Macca going to pit again? Is he going to try and get those hards all the way to the end? Because Kick's more than likely going to have to stop again.
Drag King making the move, but it's all about tripping up with Stu, but which has allowed Wookie to slide through both of them. A Hamilton moment from Silverstone, two cars tripping over each other and then Wookie taking advantage. So it is Wookie P4, Drag King 5, Stu down to 6th.
And a 3 second for Drag King.
Yep.
He's using as much of the track as he possibly can, but running wide occasionally.
Yeah, Sabi with another penalty.
Oh, Blank's left the session.
Oh, he has. He's dropping down the grid quite a lot.
I don't think I have him as a friend, unfortunately, so I cannot re-invite him.
Neither have I, so that's going to be a bit of a sticky situation for Blank, especially with him being second in the championship.
Yeah.
After the first
it's
race.
Really unfortunate. Oh, no, I'm gone. I have disconnected, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh dear.
Well, This is going well for me. Let me close my game, reopen, and try to rejoin. Apologies, everyone.
Yeah, in the meantime, Gava's got 3 seconds. Maka is 4/10 behind Kick. So those medium tyres are starting to feel the effect. I will keep calling the race while Simon tries to get back in. But it's 2/10 separating the two at the front. You can see the difference. Maka on the hard tyres having more grip than Kick on those mediums. He's almost pushing the Sauber around this final section of the track. He's got half a second, 5/10 to the Sauber. I think he's too far back to do anything, so he'll settle in at turn 1, hold the gap as close as possible through turns 1, 2 and 3, activate DRS and try and make the move down to turn 4, because if you don't get the move at turn 1, you can always make the move at turn 4. Kick with a quite defensive line on the inside, but then came back over before the braking zone to take the racing line, so it was all fair. So he's keeping the Ferrari behind, so Kick doing what Maka did in the first stint. The Sauber holding the Ferrari at bay. These two in a race of their own out front. They've got 6 seconds to Alfie in the Aston Martin, who's in no man's land in P3, so looking very good for the Aston Martin driver. But we've got the Ferrari in full attack mode right under the Sauber's rear wing. The Ferrari forced around the outside, but with DRS it's taking candy from a baby. But now Kick will have DRS down towards turn 4. But at this stage in this stint, Maka is on the better tyres. Yep, Kick too far back to do anything, so that's Maka comfortably into the lead now, and hopefully he'll use the difference in tyre to his advantage and open up the gap to Maka before Maka's final stop.
Sorry, I am back in. I'm just trying to see if I can get Blank re-invited.
Hopefully you can, because as I say, he is second in the championship. And it'll be quite a bit dampening on himself if he misses out. Just checking on him for a moment. Triz is closing that gap. We have a yellow flag in the middle sector. I think that was Drift Hawk having a moment. But Triz is now ahead of the Racing Bull of Blank, so Blank is now down to 12th. But he's got 6 seconds to tie clear. And the gap out front is now 1.4, so Maka really using those hard tyres at this stage to full effect, dropping Kick in second place.
Right, I am back. And just as I'm back, Drag King runs really, really wide out of the centre S's, and Stoob can't quite get the move done.
No, and it doesn't help that Drag King's getting DRS off of Rookie as well. Wookie as well. I just called Wookie a Rookie.
I think Rookie is much better for Wookie. I think it's much better.
Okay, then it's Rookie now. He is a quick Rookie, to be fair.
He is a quick Rookie. He's having a very good race. I'll give him that. Fair play to him. I'm trying to multitask in comms and get people back in the race, so it's. I apologise if I go quiet.
Yeah, it's no worries on that one. It's quite spread out. Maka now with a 2.4 second lead out front. Those hards really paying dividends at this stage. We are watching the battle for 4th, 5th and 6th. With Wookie the Rookie in 4th, Drag King and Stoob. But Stoob still unable to make a move, but it is a lock-up for Drag King, which opens the door for Stoob on the inside, but Drag King gets back in position for turn 3, so the Sauber still stuck behind the Williams. Drag King using the DRS from Wookie to full effect. I think that's a ghosted car just parked in the track as well. 19 runners so far, Muchnut's the only retirement. This battle for 4th, 5th and 6th is hotting up. Stube dropped back a bit from Drag King a little bit. Drag King keeping close to Wookie. Wookie on the medium tyres, whereas Drag King on the hard, so Drag King will always kick. Has got 10 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. That's going to hurt him because he's not going to be able to serve it, I don't believe, because he'll have to, if he's going to
absolutely gutting.
Yeah, because if he wants to get that served, he's got to pit again, so he's not going to serve it on this stop, so he's going to be carrying that to the end of this race as Drag King now goes up to 3rd. Wookie the rookie down to 4th. Stube still in 5th place. He can't gain that position.
Oh, I've disconnected again. What's going on?
Nightmares in comms at the moment. But luckily,
I'm so sorry, everyone.
Luckily, I'm still here and stream's still running, so it's half working. Kit comes out in P6, but he is going to be carrying that 10 seconds now to the end of this race, so he's going to be hoping for a possible safety car, if anything, to get that 10 seconds off. As we have, I think it's a virtual safety car looking at it, because the track's fully yellow, it's full caution. Macca is in, there's no safety car on track, so we are on a VSC at this moment. As Alfie's in as well. Yeah, pretty much. But Macca and Alfie taking full advantage of this VSC. So Macca is going to come out easily in the lead. Stube is now up to 3rd with Drag King and Wookie pitting. Kick is now up to 3rd with the rest of the pitters, but Macca is comfortably out in the lead after returning back on track under this VSC. I don't know what brought the VSC out, but got a drive through there for Sabi, speeding under the virtual safety car, so getting a bit too early on the gas before the VSC had ended. But that VSC has definitely helped Macca in this one, as also Sabi with a 10-second as well for speeding in the pit lane. So he's going to be serving his drive-through, but he's going to be carrying that 10 seconds to the end of the race. We have a yellow flag again, that's at turn 2.
I am back
and
in.
It was Ty Clear. Ty Clear's had a moment at turn 2. He's got the Haas going again, but there is damage on that front wing, I believe. Ty Clear not having the best of races at the moment. Yes, he's missing both end plates on that front wing, plus a bit of the left-hand side of the wing, so it'll be a trip to the pit lane for Ty Clear.
And Blank is back in. I multitasked.
Big props to you, my friend, getting Blank back in and multitasking and getting yourself back in as well in the meantime.
Good grief.
Yeah. Mark, give this one a gold star afterwards. He deserves it.
Go me.
Give yourself a shiny.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've got Alfie and Stu battling over 3rd and 4th. It is Sauber versus Aston Martin for the final podium position. But in the meantime, actually, it could be for both podium positions, with the Kick carrying that 10 seconds as Alfie goes down the inside with DRS.
Stube's going to struggle, though, because he hasn't pitted, so he's on very old hards at this point.
Yeah, so my guess is probably going to try and go to the end, which is a very
Yes.
big ask.
I mean, he's got an 11-second gap to Wookie,
Yeah, who's
but that's
just...
going to come down quick.
Yeah, and Wookie's just got ahead of Drag King as well, so their battle is still carrying it on from last time. They are slowly catching the back marker of Gav, I believe that is, in the McLaren.
If they fight hard, that could work in Stubb's favour.
Yeah, so Stu's going to be wanting that, as he's 1.3 seconds off of Alfie now that the Aston had got ahead of the Sauber. As Drag King and Wookie have cleared Gav, so they're now back in clean air with no lap cars ahead of them. So Wookie's going to have to take full advantage of this, because Drag King will not have DRS down towards turn 1, but the Alpine will. So will we see Wookie? I'm getting tongue-tied. Will we see
rookie?
Will we see Wookie? No, he decides to play sensible, sits behind at turn 1, and will look to set up the move down towards turn 4. But it wasn't a tidy turns 1, 2 and 3 for the Alpine. So the Williams does hold station as Stub has finally pitted, which has dropped him now down to P6. He's just got ahead of Airways. He is now on the medium tyres, and he's going to have the freshest tyres out of everyone on the track, as I think that is a McLaren parked up. Yep, Gav is...
It is Gav, yeah.
Staying out the way altogether for everybody. We'll jump to the top 3, because Alfie is now within a second of Kick. But as it stands, Kick will still finish on the podium, because Drag King is about 12 seconds off, plus carrying penalties himself and keeping Wookie at bay.
Yeah, Wookie really wants to clear Drag King and try and close that gap down to Kick so that he can try and salvage a podium out of this.
Yeah, because he needs, as long as he gets under 10 seconds to the Sauber, then that is a guaranteed podium. But he's stuck behind the Williams while we're focusing on the battle for second and third. Kick in the Kick Sauber and Alfie in the Aston Martin. With
Alfie's looking really racy in this final stint here.
Yeah, quite racy than he has most of this race so far, but you always want to get your elbows out and a bit more aggressive in the final stint, because it's the closing stages. He's going to have DRS. Ooh, that was a moment and a half. That was a bit scary even for me, but luckily Kick had ghosted.
Yeah, my gosh, that was terrifying.
That could have been massive. Although the gap from third to fourth has now come down to 11.8, as Gav has got 10 seconds for exceeding track limits, staying out the way of other drivers.
What a good guy Gav is.
Yeah, now Alfie... Kick's now back ahead of Alfie at turn 4, as the two Hasses have swapped places, so I believe that's Ross getting out the way of Ty Clear, which has brought the yellow flag out. Gav in the middle sector again, staying out the way for other drivers.
Yeah, he's not having a good race today, bless him.
Now he's one to forget for the Banshee, as MJ's Ferrari has just been lapped by Kick and Alfie, which I think has gave... No, he didn't get DRS, the Sauber, but the Aston Martin did, and has gone round the outside. So takes second place into turn 1, but then Kick will have DRS down to turn 4. Tied clear with 10 seconds for corner cut-in.
Ooh.
I think he's had a moment and it slid him across the track.
Yeah. Not what you want.
No, because it's one of those that it's a loss of the car and there's nothing the stewards can do to remove the penalty in the meantime, so you're stuck with it. As we have a overshot view of the battle for second and third. But Kick doing enough to hold on to a podium place. He's not going to finish second with that 10 seconds that he's carrying, but he is doing everything he needs to do to hold on to that third place, because the gap between third and fourth is 11.1, so it is just outside that 10-second window. As Drifthawk has got 10 seconds for speeding in the pit lane, as Alfie retakes the position for second place. But Kick will have DRS again down towards turn 4, so will the Sauber take the position back? DRS
he didn't
for
have
the
the
Sauber.
best exit out
No,
of there,
he didn't. He's looking
he does
at the
have some
outside.
very good straight line speed.
Oh, there is a bit of contact going into...
Contact!
And that's put Alfie out of all shapes, and he's had to collect it. So I don't think Alfie's going to be too happy with that one, but I think that was half and half possibly, but you don't get the best of angles from the director's point of view. But Alfie is still within the 10 seconds of Kick. He's 3.3. The gap to Drag King is 7.3 to Alfie with that time lost. Another 10 seconds for Gav. He's doing the right thing, staying out of the way, but the game is punishing him for it, so it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate.
And the grid is quite spread out now. There's not that many cars within a second of each other. It's like everyone over a second or possibly two. It's very spread out now coming to these closing stages.
I'll tell you what, though, a man who is really flying along is Mr. Stoob, who was the better part of 10 seconds behind Wookie when he came out of the pits. It's down to 7.
Yeah, that's the difference in tyre wear, because Stoob was the last one to pit overall for their final pits.
Yeah.
So he's got the freshest tyres out of all those that are on there. Oh no! And we have a full safety car. And we was following him as well.
I jinxed Stoob. I'm never going to hear the end of it.
This is now going to hurt everybody who's got a penalty because of how late into this race we are. Sambal drive through for speeding under safety car.
You know the person this has absolutely ruined?
Kick.
Is Kick. Yeah. He was very comfortably going to get a podium.
Can he serve he will serve the 10 seconds though, I believe, with this. So it has slightly saved him actually, because he can get the 10 seconds out the way. Yes, they're holding him.
It's not serving it.
Isn't it? Yeah, it's holding him, so he is serving it.
That's weird, because they changed his tyres on my screen and then served it.
No, they held him before they served it on mine, so that is the 10-second serve for Kick. So this safety car has actually saved him.
That was
we've
so
had a
weird,
severe collision with Sambal and Maka.
Oh, what happened there?
I have no idea, because the Red Bull's out now.
How utterly... This has gone to
bizarre.
absolute chaos, ladies and gentlemen.
But yeah, this safety car is actually helped Kick, because as we've seen, he's able to serve that 10 seconds, so now it's out the way. He is free to race.
Yeah, and he's got GTS Drag King in P2 with a 3-second penalty, so he's still in a very, very good shout for a podium.
Yes, he is, and it also puts him now on the level playing field with Alfie.
Yeah.
Who I believe is still on the hard tyres.
Alfie, it says softs on mine.
But he's got white walls on mine.
Oh, F1. This game was looking so hopeful for a minute there.
Yeah, for some reason I can see it looks like Drag King is on hards in second on my screen.
Drag King's on hards? Yeah, I thought you meant Alfie.
Yeah, Drag King's on hards, yeah. Alfie...
Yeah, Drag King's on hards, yeah.
Yeah, Alfie's
on
soft, so...
Sorry,
yeah,
that's my fault then. I thought you said Alfie.
I think I was talking about Alfie, so it's me getting confused and then confusing you, and oh lord, it's one of those nights.
It's been a long race. It's been a very long race. I've disconnected twice.
You've saved a driver's race.
I know. I am basically MRC Jesus.
I won't go that far.
I save people's races. I bring people back from the land of disconnection.
You are not the Messiah.
I beg to differ. We'll ask Blank at the end of the race.
We should have the safety car coming in because it should at least give us 2 racing laps, surely.
Yeah, hopefully.
But this is really a chaotic finish to Tier 3 with this late safety car, as the safety car will be heading in, so Maka will take control. Maka on fresh tyres, Drag King on hards. There is the lapped MJ who's been unable to get back in this, I don't know, unless, well, he's a lap down, so he would be ghosted. Calm down. So he's in between Drag King and Alfie, so that's going to hamper Alfie on this start because he's going to have to wait.
Oh, and he's gone. Absolutely caught Drag King sleeping.
Yeah, Drag King are also going to be a sitting duck as everyone tries to get past the lap car of MJ. So Maka in comfortable position as Alfie is already over the back of Drag King as they head down towards 10-4. As Alfie, 10 seconds for ignoring yellow flags.
Ooh.
Wookie 3 seconds for track limits. So that's
and just
Alfie
to mix things up, I'm gone for the 3rd time, sorry.
Oh dear. We're nearly there.
I will get back in for the last lap.
Wookie now up to... Oh, Drag King's lost it on the hard tyres. Wookie's up to P4 now. Hive up to P5. 5. But it's looking good for Maka, and Kick was serving his 10 seconds under the safety car, has now put himself in prime position for second. As DRS is activated for this final lap, as Alfie gets the fastest lap of the race at 10.4 as we're on the final lap. There are plenty of penalties up and down the grid, so we'll have to wait for those all to filter out once everyone's took the checkered flag. Airways in the pits again, getting out the way of the drivers that are racing below him. As we have a yellow flag, that's MJ, I believe. But we'll jump to Maka as he's coming through sector 2. It's going to be a comfortable, well, I wouldn't say a comfortable win in the end for Maka, but he's had his moments, but he has controlled it well.
He really has, yeah.
And Maka will come around the final section of corners, and he's going to make it 2 out of 2 here in season 17. Maka and Ferrari take the checkered flag first. Alfie second, but Kick will take second. Wookie up to third, so the Alpine gets the final podium places. Genie up to 4th. Triz 5th. Simba 6th. Blank 7th. Alfie down to 8th. Drag King 9th, Hive 10th. Airways will finish 11th, and then we've got Drifthawk, Ty Clear, Savvy, MJ, Ross, who's had a bit of a moment when going across the line, and we'll mention the non-finishers once we get the provisional order. But this final positioning is provisional, buy-in, stewards and all that. But congratulations to Macca making it 2 wins in a row in Tier 3.
Yeah,
he won last week.
Race by Macca there.
He won last week in Canada, and now he's won in Brazil. As Macca gets your race winner, fastest lap went to Alfie. Your driver of the day was given to Simba. Most overtakes is also Simba, and the cleanest driver has gone to Simba. So Simba with a hat-trick tonight in Tier 3.
Yeah. I mean, that was a brilliant drive from Simba. From P18 to P6, you can't fault it, really.
Yes. So we'll run through the provisional finishing order. Macca takes the win. Kick will finish second, then it's Wookie, Genie, Triz, Simba, Blank, Alfie, Drag King, Hive rounds out the top 10, then it's Airways, Drifthawk, Ty Clear, Savvy, and MJ rounding off the 15-point scorers. Then it's Ross, and then the non-finishers of Stoob, and I still didn't get through the non-finishers. I am useless at this.
It goes quicker than you think, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It does. But the game gave it to Simba, and as you say, he had a five-place grid penalty from where he was in qualifying. So to finish where he is, it is fair play and big props to the King of the Jungle tonight. So
yeah,
I think on that one I will give it Simba, because he did get the grid penalty after qualifying with a collision with, I believe it was Genie, and took the 5-place drop. But to finish, what was it, P6 in the end is a phenomenal, and to keep it clean as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant drive by Simba.
So Simba, you're our driver of the day in Tier 3 from both me and Simon and the game. That is Tier 3 finally wrapped up with that chaotic late safety car finish. But stay tuned, as at 8:45 it will be Tier 4, where the Banshee will be jumping out of his car into the comms box, and you get a double dose of the choir boy, as Simon will be on comms with him for Tier 4 as well. So
if I can get connected in the first place and stay that way.
Yes. So fingers crossed you have a better one than you had now. So yeah, stay tuned indeed for Tier 4 to go live at 8:45 for their race. But then we still have the no assists tomorrow, so there's still one more after Tier 4 today. And that is it from myself and Simon. So thank you for being on comms at times with your disconnects.
Connected, it was very nice to be on comms with you for the brief periods that I was actually doing comms.
Yeah, and also fair play to you getting Blank back in. So fair play on that one.
Well, we do what we can, don't we?
So yeah, stay tuned for Tier 4 at 8:45. That is it from me and Simon. Good night.
Good night.